The Faithful Five for Fairness. In the days when the nation of Israel was traveling in the wilderness for 40 years, there was a man named Zelophehad who had 5 daughters. Their names were Mahlah, who was the oldest, then Noah, Hoglah, Milcah, and the youngest Tirzah. Each of these daughters loved their father dearly. He would tell them great tales about God's favor toward the Hebrews when they were slaves in Egypt. Tales of the great prophet of God, Moses, facing Pharaoh, the plagues that punished the Egyptians, the night of Passover, and crossing the Red Sea before any of them were born. They loved hearing these tales, but most importantly, they loved God for delivering their people from slavery to a new promised land. The young daughters of Zelophehad had great faith in God as they traveled all around the wilderness. They grew up there and knew God was with the nation of Israel every day. God's pillar of cloud over the tabernacle by day showed everyone the way through the land, and when God let his pillar glow as fire at night, it provided light for all. God would keep his promises to Israel, and each daughter treasured them in her heart. But one sad day, their father died. Israel had wandered the wilderness for almost 40 years, and their father had no sons. Moses was preparing the nation to cross over to the promised land, and each family would be given a portion of land to be inherited by the sons, not the daughters. The law stated that only sons could inherit family property. It was written that the property belonging to a man without sons would go to his brothers. Having known the mercy of God all their lives, Mahlah, Noah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Tirzah did not think this was fair. Their family wouldn't inherit anything because they didn't have a brother. What are they going to do? The daughters were upset that without sons, their father's name would be erased forever. But Mahlah, the oldest, knew God would guide them. She and her sisters prayed for God to provide an answer to this problem. Trusting in the faith instilled in them by every story their father had told them, they did something very brave. All 5 of them took their problem to Moses. To make it even scarier, Eleazar the priest of the tabernacle and the 12 leaders of the tribes of Israel were there to meet them at the entrance of the tent. They all stood firm and said in front of everybody, "Our father died in the wilderness because of his own sin, but he was never against God or you. Why should the name of our father disappear from his clan just because he had no sons? Please give us property along with the rest of our relatives." Moses could see these daughters had a very good point. Why should these women lose their father's inheritance? Why should their father's name die as well? They truly would have nothing unless they married. Moses, the great prophet of God, couldn't answer them. He did the only thing he could do and talked to God. God said to Moses, "The claim of the daughters of Zelophehad is true. You must give them an inheritance in the land along with their father's family. Give all of them the home that would have been given to their father." The daughters were overjoyed that God let them honor their father in this way and had faith God would take care of them as he had guided Israel all these years. God's mercy allowed women the right to inherit in Israel. It wasn't Moses' decision, but God's. God is just and fair to all his children, no matter who you are. As the Apostle Paul wrote centuries later, "For you are all children of God through faith in Christ Jesus."